Just over 13 years ago, I made the journey from Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, where temperatures can soar above 40 degrees Celsius, to Canada, where they can dip below 40 degrees Celsius. I had lived in the refugee camp for a year and a half, which is nothing compared to the thousands of young South Sudanese who've spent entire lives in the camp. I'm here to talk about our duty as young citizens of South Sudan to bring peace to our country. My name is Emmanuel Mabe, also known as Kikijiko. For 15 years now, I've used my limited artistic skills to highlight the plight of my people. To be sure, I was born in the village of Iwotoka, near the town of Yei, in central Equatoria region. My fondest memories include the time I lived with my mother and grandmother in the village. My grandmother grew coffee, which she sold, and used the money to educate my mother. My mother then went on to work as a clerk in the factory where that same coffee was processed, right there in the village. In addition to the factory, there was a health clinic, a school, and even hydroelectricity. It was quite a modern village. But because of the previous conflict between 1983 and 2005, the village was dispersed and the factory leveled to the ground. As a small child, I fled the village and didn't return until 2012, after 2 decades. And I saw that there was nothing but a big bush and trees as tall as skyscrapers. Still, I thought, well, we can fix this. I can live here. After all, it's where my umbilical cord was cut, right? But it's been more than 5 years, and the only change that's happened is the bush got bigger and the trees taller. Fellow citizens of South Sudan, not many people have had the chance to decide their destiny in the manner that we did. If you recall, back in 2011, we had a chance to decide on whether to create what would then become the Republic of South Sudan. I was ecstatic, it being the first time in my life to vote. And vote we did. You saw the long lines, snaking in scorching heat and in freezing cold alike. From within and from the diaspora, we delivered a strong united voice, with just about 99% of the vote being in favor of creating a brand new country. We made history. At that moment, we created a new society, acquired a new identity and a renewed sense of pride. We decided to live together, even though we come from different smaller communities. Essentially, that if we live together, we'll be safer. Safe from any attack from near or far. Safe from anyone that might come and plunder our resources. In short, we came together to pursue the good life. Yet, once again, we find ourselves hampered by armed conflict and inability to pursue the good life. I'm not even sure where some of my relatives are right now, since I'm told the village has dispersed once again. It's been more than 25 years since I lived in my own village. That's a whole generation of separation from my own people. We cannot let the conflict stretch any longer. I'm therefore begging that we give peace a chance. If you may, allow me to indulge in the wisdom of former US President John F. Kennedy in a speech he gave to young people like us at the American University in 1963. And I quote, "Every thoughtful citizen who despairs of war and wishes to bring peace should begin by looking inward, by examining his own attitude toward the possibilities of peace." End of quote. We must not have a defeatist attitude. We must not think peace will drop from the top. We must not think peace will be brought by someone else either. The previous generations fought long and hard to liberate us from the oppressive regime in the old Sudan. We must not fail them. Take my uncle Malish, for example. He fought in the liberation struggle. As a small child in the village, I saw him come home one evening wearing a woman's skirt. It being the only piece of garment he could find, as a guerrilla fighter. Yet right now, he cannot enjoy a peaceful retirement in the very country that he fought for. We must stop the madness. It's our time as young people to move our country forward. It's our responsibility to move our country forward. And peace is a requirement to move our country forward. Please, in 2018, let's make a resolution as young people to renounce any more armed conflict in South Sudan.